New backseat critique, new backseat critique, new backseat critique. Oh no. Curtains for Christmas.
It's Christmas in August.
Yeah.
So it is.
This.
Although it is pretty cold. It was like, what was it? It was like, 48 degrees Fahrenheit overnight. It's been in like the high 50s, low 60s. No, don't pull it out. Don't pull it out.
I'm not going to pull it out.
Don't mess with it.
I was just going to go draw attention to them.
Yeah, a friend of mine got these from me years ago, and it's a whole set, and she was like, someday we'll have a mighty beard. And I was like, well, no time like the present. Because it's Christmas in August, and why is that?
Because I have a copy of Curtains for Christmas that we watched, and we're doing a backseat critique for. Basically, this is the latest film by Steve Rudzinski, who did Shingles.
Hold it up so it's not upside down.
He did Shingles and Meowy movies and a bunch of other ones that, and we have an unfortunate tendency to backseat critique and vlog these when they come out, the CarousHEll films, and so we've been doing this one as well because Steve is a wonderful man. This one actually, putting it all cards on the table. This one was sent to us as a present, so I did not actually go out and buy this myself. Usually when I do these ones, I've bought it myself. But I let you know that it's not influencing me at all because, it's Steve and he's fantastic at what Steve does, which is fantastic.
I'm too short. Hold on, let me readjust. Alright, I can pretend I'm taller now.
Basically, if you've seen his earlier stuff, it's usually fairly light, very, very sort of non-threatening style humor. Not edgy humor, but mixed with horror tropes. It's a very distinctive mix.
And accents.
Yes.
Lots of wordplay.
Yes, and lots and references and things like that. And this one, well, at the very start, it seemed to be a bit more serious than most of them, and I was thinking it might be like, I forget the name of it, but one of his films, which is filmed in exactly the same style, but there's no jokes, and this lady just keeps murdering everyone, and it's quite an experience to watch his regular stuff, then watch that. And then watch his regular stuff again. So I was wondering if he was doing kind of the same thing again. And it's slightly towards that, but it's not quite. It's like where it was 100 and his usual stuff is 0, this is like 35.
That's fair.
Yeah.
There were 2 rats.
Yeah.
Cameos.
This one is about a lady called Holly.
Get it?
Played by Eileen Isley, who is Steve's regular co-writer, who's turned up in some of the other stuff. She is obsessed with a Hallmark-style Christmas movie with talking mice and this perfect couple getting together.
No, they're not. I think they're not. They don't talk. They just talk to each other.
But they can still talk.
So it's like, look who's... Remember the ancient film, Look Who's Talking? It's like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's like one of those, like, oh my gosh, I'm from the big city and I have no values. Oh, I'm from the down hometown place and I have all of the values.
Yeah. So they...
and then their rats conspire to set them up.
The rats, Harry and Marv.
Get it? Mm-hmm. Get it? We'll be saying that a lot.
And so she's obsessed with this film, and then, because, unfortunately she has to murder her boyfriend. Because
she garrots him with tinsel. I think that's the only time I've ever seen someone killed by tinsel.
I mean, sometimes shit happens, and the guy has to get garroted with tinsel, and then she falls in love with this stud, Jay, played by Steve Rudzinski, and as ever, this is another fantastic example of a Steve Rudzinski character who's just charmingly Midwestern in that. You're not sure if they're gay or just really, really, really from Colorado.
Colorado's not the Midwest.
Is it not?
No.
What am I thinking of?
Southwest. Oh, I mean like...
Minnesota?
No, that's more the north.
Indiana? I don't know where Indiana is.
Indiana's... I mean, yeah, like there's Ohio and Indiana. You could call Indiana the Midwest, but there's like...
Iowa.
Oh, Iowa, yeah, okay.
Okay,
like the
so
farm
he comes across... The character comes across as... you're not sure if he's gay or really from Iowa. And Steve is the undisputed world champion at that kind of performance.
You know who his characters are like? Lewis.
Yeah! Yeah, they're like that, yes. Like, you got that kind of earnestness, Midwestern earnestness. Yeah.
So just like Lynde.
Yeah. And it is spectacular.
Yeah.
So she wants to get with him, and he's
because
like,
he loves Christmas, and she's like, "This is just like that film that I saw," and her consciousness is manifested as a white rat dressed like Santa Claus, who is voiced with the accent of the. Remember the animated Charlotte's Web, like the original one from back in the day, and the gay-coded rat? That exact accent, and I was like, that's perfect.
I wonder if that's what Salty Salvation Celebration was going for when it had its gay giant rat, risky rat.
But no, it wasn't the same. It wasn't the same accent. It's the because I think the accent is because that specific actor who voiced the rat. I'm pretty sure he was like one of those actors that everybody knew was gay but never said. You keep talking and I'll look it up.
I have to keep talking. Check this out. We got a Christmas card from Holly and Jay. Look at how joyful that is. He looks so happy.
I didn't ever get to say. That's really nice.
So anyway, Holly, she has to first get rid of Jay's wife, and then she has to collect a family together in order to have.
Yeah, it is really nice that like we do keep finding out things about him and he's like, oh yeah, this is my wife, and it's my wife.
And then she got to collect other family together, so she manages to grab two guys, and they're a gay couple, so they're now her parents, and then this lesbian couple become her sisters.
Yeah, she like somehow tips off these two lesbian burglars that like their house is empty, so they come to rob her, and I'm not sure how she knew a pair of like in a committed partnership lesbian burglars, but
shit happens. And, things kind of go a little bit awry when, she keeps murdering people. Because, sometimes you got to.
Paul Lynde was the voice.
Oh, I've heard of Paul Lynde.
Yeah, let me look up his wiki, because I'm pretty sure he was one of those, Hollywood, like, everyone knows but no one.
Oh, definitely, yeah. Paul Lynde, he is very gay.
Well, was. I mean, he passed away in 1982.
Yeah.
1926. Well, as an American actor. Aren't you glad that you clicked on this video so we could read IMDb and Wikipedia to you?
If I remember correctly, someone did a fan video of what the 1970s TV Marvel Avengers would be, using footage from like the 70s Incredible Hulk and Thor, and all those together, and Paul Lynde in a separate TV role as the Devil was being used as Loki.
Aye. Despite his campy and flamboyant television persona, Lynde's private life and sexual orientation were not directly acknowledged on or discussed on television or other media during his lifetime. So yeah, it was one of those kinds of things.
Yeah, open secret type thing.
I mean, I'm just going to make sure he actually like was gay and he just wasn't just like really, really camp and everyone just assumed. Oh, he had struggles with alcohol and substance abuse.
Well, given that era of Hollywood, pretty much everyone did.
Yeah.
Back in the day, with old actors, especially generally, you've got, were they alcoholic, were they gay, were they both? If you have someone who's none of them, they're basically a unicorn.
Yeah, it's not specifically saying, but it's one of those things.
Okay. So, what did you think of Curtains for Christmas? Did you think it was great, or is it Curtains for Christmas?
Oh, I thought it was good. I thought it was a clever script. Mm-hmm. His scripts are usually very clever.
Yeah, they are.
I liked how what's really fun with low budget filmmaking is like kind of like thinking, oh, how is this done? How is that done? Like, the part in A Cheesy Christmas where the couple has their meet cute at a shop. Obviously, it's like the back corner of a shop that they were allowed to film in, that whatever stock had been there had been taken down, and Christmas ornaments had been put up because there was one ornament of each type rather than actual stock, and I was like, I see how you did that.
And then the Christmas get-together in the real world with Jay and Holly was in a much more realistic-looking sort of set, shopping thing, much more realistically stocked. So it was interesting that you've got the one that looks more low budget in the film that's meant to be high budget compared to the one that's in the real life.
That one looked like a consignment shop. I'm pretty sure, or a charity shop.
Yeah, they could have put in a little extra thing there, like set it in the same shop, and she has a line about she's got so obsessed with this because it was filmed in her town.
Yeah. But anyway, she's not well, so she's not. Then there is also a a gingerbread competition, but
Yes.
we find out it's a gingerbread house competition, which apparently is always, quote, high drama, and I have to confess, I really want a spinoff on these successive years, because there's a big, huge brawl in this one, and he says, wow, and his wife leaves him but is murdered, and he says, wow, this is the worst gingerbread competition we've had, at least in the past 2 years.
Yeah.
I said, I want to know.
And then you got the big brawl with the gingerbread, guys, and I'm very sure they're all local wrestlers, because I know Steve has done some wrestling in some of his previous videos, so I imagine he knows some guys on that circuit.
And they're like, fuck you!
So, plus,
beating each other with gingerbread bits.
Plus, they can do their own stunts. It's very clever casting.
Yeah, you don't have to pay for, stunt folks, because we can take a punch.
Yeah, it's like the best of both worlds. They have experience performing and experience, fighting fakely. So yeah, it's
fighting fakely.
Well, you know what I mean.
No, I just like that fighting fakely.
It does. Professional wrestling, they do hurt each other, and it is physically strenuous.
I know.
But at the same time, they're not actually.
I know.
I just
like the phrasing of that, fighting fakely.
I didn't mean to be disparaging.
She kills his wife and cuts off her face, and then wears her face to be, and then for some reason affects a Scottish accent, which the character did not, the actual wife did not have. And she's like, I'm leaving you. I can't even do it. And then she judges the competition with an obvious dead face on her face. So then she's like, yeah, come to my family's cabin for Christmas. And then her mind rat is like, you don't even have a family.
Yeah, she probably killed them beforehand.
No, but like he says, because you lost your family so young. So we don't know, but she could have killed them.
I'm wondering if the arrogant part of my mind is wondering if the impersonation was meant to be an impersonation of me, considering
I don't think so.
I very much doubt it, but it would be funny.
You're not that famous.
I know, but I don't know. Me and Steve get on well.
I'm gonna sleep on the couch.
We chat on WhatsApp. I think I've got a thank you credit in one of the
many people will be like,
films.
I wonder if Do You Want a Hug and it's based on.
It's possible.
I doubt it.
I very much doubt it myself, but it is possible.
Because you hate Christmas.
I do hate Christmas.
She has nothing but hate in her heart for Christmas.
That's because growing up non-Christian in a very Christian country, Christmas, was used as a way of abuse by other kids, and so I developed a lifelong aversion to Christmas. I think it's very rational.
I make a whole bunch of food.
You do, and the way you do Christmas is slightly different from the British or Irish Christmas. So I have less emotional, connection to it.
There's more pretzels.
So it's less of the negative emotional connection to it,
and more chocolate.
Yeah, so that is good.
Christmas sticks. Guys, I tell everyone in my life this: steal this recipe. Okay, so this is great because it's one of those things that it requires very little money, very little time, very little effort. It's if you charted this on a graph for the most impressiveness, you get the wheat pretzel sticks, little teeny thin ones, right? And then 400 grams of chocolate of your choice, dark milk, white chocolate, they all work. Melt it in a bowl in the microwave, 20 to 30 second bursts, and then add 1 to 2 teaspoons of whatever extract you like. Peppermint works really well because you get a nice chocolate peppermint. You can also use milk chocolate and orange extract to get the nice British orange chocolate. This year I'm going to experiment if I can find cherry extract to make dark chocolate and cherry. But just mix it together, and then you lay out some parchment paper or some tin foil or something, put on a podcast, dip the pretzels in the chocolate. I usually do about 4 or 5 at a time. Lay them out on the wax paper or the foil, whatever, and then just sprinkle whatever sprinkles on, and they set really well. Put on a podcast. You can do You can do the whole entire bag, and people are so fucking impressed by these, and they're really nice. They're good to eat. It's a great thing that you can do with kids because the chocolate is not hot enough to burn them. Might get a little bit messy, but steal this recipe.
And they last for ages, so they don't all get eaten. They can last for another 3 or 4 days after.
Yeah. Put them in a Tupperware, an airtight container. The only thing is if you use dark chocolate or milk chocolate, and you don't temper the chocolate.
Oh yeah, it does dust.
Well, yeah, the chocolate blooms. If it changes temperature radically, it's still fine. It's still good. It just looks like it bloomed chocolate. So if you're going to be making them in advance and the temperature might change radically where you are, just make white chocolate because it doesn't bloom.
Yeah. very, very, very popular with locals here who are all going like, "Oh, this is so complicated and amazing. How did you make this?" And Eric's like,
tell everyone
"It's so easy, but I'm so impressive."
Steal this. Just like that's the heart of American cooking, American anything really. What can you do the cheapest, the quickest, and the least effort with the most impressive results?
Yeah.
So sorry, that was our Christmas corner.
I'm wearing a hat.
You are.
This is my official I'm somewhere warm hat, which ironically we're not somewhere warm.
It's not. I'm wearing like the old fleece from my old job at the bookshop.
This can be seen in the Thailand videos that we took, which are available as Patreon exclusives. So if you want to go become a Patreon, and you can see those videos in
Thailand.
Yes, I'm always wearing that hat.
It was pretty hot in Thailand, that's true.
But usually when I'm making videos in Thailand, I'm behind the camera, so I don't know how often you see it.
Well, there's the one where you're at the cicada market.
Oh yeah, I'm trying the Roselle.
Because I was either, I can't remember if I was or your dad was.
Oh, you were recording that. Yeah. We would try Roselle, which is an amazing red drink. Tastes a lot like Red 5 Alive. And I also tried chrysanthemum.
That's disgusting.
I like to try flour-based sort of food and drinks, but that one was not a fan of.
Not nice.
Violet and rose are better.
Ugh. It tastes like you've put like a dryer sheet in your mouth or you've licked potpourri. It tastes like how a restroom smells, and I don't like that. It's not how we do things here. But anyway, the film. I mean, if you want some good... Oh, and it had the bury your gays trope, because like 4 gays involved.
And a lot of murder.
And the child is brutally murdered. The actress is probably fine. But the child
I would hope so.
Really murdered. I don't know whose child she was. Probably one of the other actors' children. It's like, I get to be in the movie. You do, but don't tell the labor board.
One of the burglar ladies, she was in a film. I was looking through IMDb, and it's like she was in a film called Murder Sized, and I'm like, I gotta find that. Unfortunately, you can't buy a disc copy, at least not on Amazon. You have to like buy it from Amazon Prime, and I'm like, I don't want to buy like Amazon Prime. No, I want a proper disc copy that I can put it somewhere.
You could buy it from Amazon Prime and then burn it onto it.
Or I could like,
No!
I could hit someone with it.
Why is this happening?
See, you just gotta have a proper disc. Yes,
this is my life.
I love this.
Stop it. But yeah, there was no cat though. Meowy did not make a cameo.
That's true.
But
Whiskers.
There was something that I said that I'm going to bring up in the vlog, and now I can't remember what it was. Oh yeah, no, I remember. Okay, so they were eating dinner because part of her brilliant plan is so she finds a house that's like very Christmassy. She breaks in, and it's an older gay couple that live there, and she ties them up. She's like, "Look, you got to be my father's. I'll set you free at the end, but this has got to go well for me." And then she also has 2 lesbian burglars, and she's like, "Look, you're gonna be my sisters. This is just don't fuck it up." So one of the dad cooks, and so they're eating, and then you said,
Get into character. Hey, it's sweet corn, a typical part of American Christmas dinner.
And I had to explain that I don't believe that there really is a specific traditional American Christmas Eve or Christmas night. Why are you still making that face?
It's me, and I'm in character as myself, so I'm being a
Yeah, but I'm going to talk for as long as possible to make you hold that. But no, because in my family, stuff that we would have on Christmas Eve every year, and things that would be traditional for us to make on Christmas night would be dictated just basically by the stuff we liked. Like, my granny was Polish, so we had, kapusta and pierogies and stuff on Christmas Eve. My Aunt Phyllis, who traditionally did Christmas night dinner, which was, the whole big extended family, she would always make a huge pot of macaroni and cheese with the bow tie pastas, because there was a fucking million kids. And, the adults, too. Who doesn't like macaroni and cheese? But no one would say, oh, yes, the traditional Christmas macaroni and cheese. So I told her it would depend on so many things. Your family's ethnic background, the region of the states that you're in. And so I said, I would say, let's say, to tell people to comment below, what is traditional in your family? Because I'm willing to bet that it's not like the Dickens, English, this is what we have on Christmas. I don't know why I used the Nazi accent, but
Well, I was wondering if it was a Midwestern thing, or because I know Brussels sprouts are part of the traditional British and Irish type one. Although
Disgusting.
I think only my sister likes Brussels sprouts.
They're just not nice. They're just awful. They're just like awful, angry little cabbages. I don't like cabbage anyway.
But to encourage everyone to come up with interesting things in their traditional Christmas thing, my mum would make a type of, well, she called it stuffing, but it's basically sausage meat outside of the casing, pork sausage meat, mixed with breadcrumbs and a lot of lemon juice, creating basically a big sausage slab, which you slice into pieces. It's a little bit like scrapple.
Yeah.
Yeah, very nice.
But I would make the same stuffing that my mom would make for Thanksgiving, just because, well, I love sage and fuck it, it's not an excuse for stuffing. But you'll have stuffing at Christmas. It's not as, it's not uncommon, but it wouldn't be like as ubiquitous as Thanksgiving stuffing.
That's because there's interesting crossovers between the British and Irish version of Christmas dinner and then with the American Thanksgiving and the American Christmas, because you got elements that cross over, and some of them are only more common in some than the other.
Yeah, like the international department one year at Ulster put on their Facebook page, and like, to all, for Thanksgiving, to all Americans celebrating Thanksgiving, hope you enjoy the turkey, stuffing, and red cabbage dressing. And I know that red cabbage is like a thing over here, because mind when we all went to the place in the craft village for the big, remember I went to the Christmas meal with all the PhD students. Well, they had like this red cabbage dish, which is actually really good, and I hate cabbage, and Anne told me that she knows how to make it.
Oh.
But like apparently a red cabbage like dressing-ish kind of like a hot dish, it's like that's very like British and Irish. And so I thought it was just really funny that like the person running the Facebook account just assumed that Americans did that, and I was like, oh god, no.
That's kind of like whenever we were in the States, and I can't remember if we were in an Irish pub or something, but it was like traditional Irish chicken wings.
Yeah. And you were
I was like, what the fuck?
Although something funny, we were talking to my parents over, because we can't do FaceTime because I don't use Apple products because they're awful. So I was using like Facebook Messenger, like video call with my parents, and they were babysitting my little niece who has just turned 6. And so my mom was like, oh, I'll get her and you can say hi, because I've actually never met my nieces in person because I've been living over here this whole time. And so, my mom was like, oh, well, look, there's your Uncle Eric and Auntie Zara. And remember, they live across the ocean in Ireland. And then so the wee girl, she's like, is it a big ocean or is it like a little river? And I said, oh, no, the Atlantic is a big ocean. It takes, a long time to cross it. She goes, are you in a big boat or a small boat? And I was like, no, we're in the kitchen. Like, I don't know what she was thinking, and I hope someone straightened her out on the other side, because I think she thought we were on a barge. But anyway, it's got nothing to do with film.
Maybe she thought Ireland was a boat.
Just little kids will just say what they're thinking. They'll just say it, and she says, I didn't think you looked like that. I thought you looked different. And then she ran away and came back with this little pottery bust that I made of myself when I was like 11 or 12, when I took the pottery class at the Community Arts Center, because apparently it's one of the things that my parents let her play with, all the little knickknacks and stuff like that. So I like the idea that she thought that this is how I look forever, and also my body ends right, because it literally was a bust. That's what we were supposed to be making that class. So
it's like, oh, you grew legs.
But anyway, Christmas.
Anyway, well, Curtains for Christmas is out in DVD at silverspotlightfilms.com.
Which is down in the description below if you want to click the link and buy it yourself, because there's only shopping days until Christmas.
Yep. And, we do want to encourage Steve to make more films, because...
Good practical effects as well.
Oh, yes. Because Steve is fantastic, he does good work, and I'm always glad to see one of his new ones. You can also go to stevebuster.com to check it out. And if
Are you reading directly from the back of the thing?
No. But if I forget to put these into the description, please leave a comment lambasting me, and I will put it in.
Why did you just hide it in the couch?
That's hiding it in the couch.
Okay, I thought you would actually put it behind the thing. Like, we'll just hide this forever. And
there we go. The next person who sits there can find it. It's going to be like archaeology.
So, from our house to yours, Merry, not actual Christmas.
I don't know what I'm doing.
You were doing like the thing from what film was that, where they did the little...
I don't know. What do you think? Actually, Diamond Dallas Page.
Oh, that's what it is.
Self high five.
Could do the Afghanistan thing.